cone.
Yeah.
I blew off my deck 3 times already in the last 3 hours, and it's just like...
Yeah.
See, I genuinely thought at one point it was rodent poop.
No.
When I saw the little tiny things. I was like, great. We got mice. My wife's going to freak out. And that's going to be like her all-encompassing thing. She's like, we have a mouse, then obviously it's going to get up here. It's going to be in my pillow before the night's out.
Nibbling on my toes.
Yeah. And that's all I have. That's what I get to deal with. And there we go. Wow. You guys can hear that, right?
Mm-hmm.
The chimes?
Yeah, the wind blowing. Just in case everybody knows, it's blowing
30
out
miles
there.
an hour.
Yeah, it is blowing out there.
Time to get some KOMs.
I'll get to that here in a minute. Before we begin, it's that time to let everybody know that this is the official Packfiller Gooder Summer. As you know, we here at Packfiller only endorse products and services that we truly believe in. We use them, we enjoy their services, and so on. So we have been given a specific amount of discount codes just for you, our friends at the Packfiller, for 15% off your purchase. If you take into account that Gooders are already the most affordable quality eyewear out there, that makes this even better of a deal. Use the code PACKFILLER15, all one word, and 2 numbers at the end, 15, Packfiller15, to get your discount on non-slip polarized stylish shades for both on and off the bike. Make sure to use it wisely. In other words, make sure you grab a couple of pair at the discount. So the Packfiller's Gooder Summer officially is underway. So let's start the show. Jack's not here yet. Jack's running late. Shocker.
Yep. Maybe he had to take his booties off.
His fenders. His
booties. Remember, he
oh,
this story
yeah,
about
he
him
got
in a
dropped.
race,
Yeah, he got dropped.
That's probably what happened.
That sounds about right.
Fucking Jack.
So you went green on air. That's not very...
That's not supposed to be green. I hit the yellow button. See the yellow?
Uh-huh. It lies.
Yeah. Now, if I hit green...
It's blue.
It's blue. It's fucking blue. Green? Okay, that's green.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They're yellow.
Does that look yellow?
No.
The audience has no idea what I'm talking about. I could go to that and they can see that camera. But it's...
Oh, well.
And the trim around the bars, the closest I could get to yellow, too.
That's
that's
close.
closer.
That's very
Is
close.
it closest?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I try hard.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
I just want everybody to know that I'm not slacking. I'm doing the work. Holy shit. When did summer arrive? Things are heating up. Local races have disappeared, which means it's officially summer. And most importantly, the Tour de France, or France if you're Bob Roll, starts in just a few days. Welcome to the Tour de France kickoff episode of the Packfiller Podcast. I'm Pat Bulger. We have the gang. Well, I wrote we have the gang all together, but Jack's not fucking here yet. When I introduce... so let's ask a random question sent by you, the best cycling podcast listener out there.
Here he is.
Jack's here.
He got his booties off.
Did you get your booties off?
Yeah. You got dropped?
You're
you
looking
took your
confused.
booties?
Did you see him do
It's
that
your
twisted
story.
head thing like a random...
a dog, like
Yeah, huh?
trying to.
Don't you remember in the race you took your booties off and got dropped?
You can get a beer.
I forgot.
Now, or
Cosmo's
you probably...
favorite.
You probably want over here. The theme is over already, and I even got to the questions because we're just waiting on your candy ass.
Candy.
Well, he was in Hawaii.
Sunburned
Yeah.
candy ass.
like
Yeah.
candy.
That's an athletic.
Well, I love athletic.
There we go.
I do too. Nice. Just sponsor mention. I believe that's this one. Yeah, there we go. So now that Jack's here, we can say we have a whole
You want me
gang
to take my
together.
shirt off?
No, that's. Please respond with the one dish, and I put one in capitalizations for this one for you, that you truly feel that you are a master of cooking.
Really?
The one dish, Jackson, you're fucked.
Oatmeal.
Yeah.
No.
I was gonna say top ramen.
No,
Hey.
Captain
Jackson's-
Crunch.
You're better than that.
Yeah,
Well, let's not get. We'll get to it. First of all, he's the guy that made my day recently by simply announcing that he had gone hard on a ride that had kicked my ass. We were at the pub, and you were like, "God, I was in my 80 percentile most of that ride," and I was so happy. I was so happy because I was suffering. So anyway, Mr. Paul Main, how are you, man?
Good.
And what's the dish that you feel truly a master of preparing?
And I don't even eat it. but every time people come over, I make a salmon.
Oh,
You don't eat it.
Mine.
Yeah,
Why don't you eat it?
I hate salmon.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, I hate it.
How do you prepare your salmon? That was mine too.
It's very simple, and I poach it.
You put okay.
I poach it, and then it keeps that moisture. It doesn't
You don't
dry
put the
out.
mayonnaise on it or anything.
No,
like
no.
that? Okay.
Olive oil,
Mm-hmm. People do that.
a special lemon pepper blend
It's supposed
that
to
I
keep
have,
it moist.
and then lemon. Simple.
I gotta think. Go to Jackson.
You said
He's got to come up.
first of
my
all,
number one.
First of
That
all,
was-
welcome back, Jack. Because
yours might be
I just had to
better.
pull
Yours-
your mic level down because Brent was in your seat last week.
Somebody sat here and it's all fucked up.
Brent Soderbergh, you can blame him.
Well, actually, the mic was actually where it needed to be, but now you moved it back down to.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Okay.
just right about your lower lip. So salmon, really?
Yeah, and I
Well,
hate it.
What's the side dish?
I don't do side dishes. I just do.
Can we all agree?
I just
that-
do meat.
Can we all agree that Copper River salmon is the biggest bullshit scam on the face of the earth?
No, don't do it.
Yeah, it's bullshit, right? Yeah, okay. There we go. Next off, he's the guy that's been sitting on the beach for 2 weeks, but just might have bike news. Don't answer yet.
You were supposed to skip me.
No, Mr. Jack Broadhead.
You can use
how are you, man?
salmon.
Can I use salmon?
Yeah, challenge
I'll
one.
Tell
just-
me how
steelhead.
you
I'm going
prepare your
steelhead.
Steelhead is good. That's what
Steelhead
I
is-
usually
Will
use,
you
but
eat
it's salmon.
steelhead?
No.
Do you eat
then I
any
get
fish?
closer. I do cod.
Whoop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do
wanted to
cod.
start
You're kind of a
over.
white flaky.
fish,
Do you like fish and chips?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Who doesn't? So
Anyway,
You know what? I truly have a problem with fish and chips.
What-
I enjoy the taste, but it makes me sick afterwards because it's just like so,
It's so much
much
grease.
batter and grease
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I'm just like, oh, that was.
is there a
kinda
certain batter you can deal with, or like I mean, everybody does a beer batter, or they do a panko or whatever. Is there a certain batter that you can't deal with?
I have no idea.
Okay, and maybe it's just the massive amount of grease.
Yeah. Tell me your dish.
Well, it was salmon, but I'll just switch
You can
to
say
steelhead. But I'd prepare it the same, actually. So, and I'm a lemon, onion, maybe a little bit of parsley, butter chips in broiling it on the barbecue. So I take like foil and I'll lay it in the foil. And I'll
I
make-
knew when I saw this question that we were fucked if Jack was here because his Instagram is Chef Jack. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see pictures of this steelhead. But anyway, I'll fold a foil tray and I put that on the barbecue.
I do the same.
And it just it grabs the skin and it pulls. So
Yeah.
like when you go to grab the meat, the skin stays
sticks
apart.
to
Yep.
the foil.
So you grill the foil.
Pretty
which
much.
is instant Alzheimer's when you grow older.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
What day is it? Is it Tuesday?
Yeah. Where the fuck am I? We already had it. So.
Okay.
But
you already
anyway,
had Alzheimer's, or you already had the
yeah.
the salmon?
That and a little bit
Crazy
of
cold out there.
So
Yeah.
my other dish was going to be a New York strip, and I discovered jalapeno mashed potatoes.
Whoa.
They're green. They have a hint of
That
jalapeno. You puree the jalapeno. It's not hot, but
No.
you get the back hit of.
I know we got to move on, but I
You
came
get
across.
the throat hit of jalapeno.
A
I
what?
can't remember.
Throat hit.
Throat hit.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's a smoking term.
Throat punch.
No, it's a smoke. It's not Fight Club.
I want to call it throat punch.
It's
I do want to call it throat punch.
I was at a restaurant. I can't remember, and jalapeno mashed potatoes was on the.
I had it in
and I
Maui.
almost grabbed that just for those spuds. not
I
for the
had it in
entree.
Maui, and it's fucking
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, there you go.
It's a dinner within itself. And the next day you can do hash browns or you can potato
I'm
pancakes.
glad you said brown after hash.
hash. You can do hash. But you could fry potato.
Third, he's the guy that
Yeah,
has
there we go.
picked a date already, everybody.
Whoa.
He
Yep.
has picked a
Sweet.
date.
Next week?
Yep, we're doing it
Next
next
week.
week.
Yep.
Yeah.
At the show live?
Yeah, isn't that
we're
crazy?
gonna podcast the wedding.
Nice.
I actually need all three of you to get a married, like to be able to
I'll be
marry
gone.
us.
Yeah.
So
I'll be
Renee
gone.
can't. She's certified. She married
you
our
really?
son.
Is she really?
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Mr. Jackson Bulger, how are you, man?
Yes, doing well, thank you.
Okay, no, not to put you on the spot, but do
gonna
you have a dish?
It's gonna be a quick one. I don't usually do the cooking.
You're
It's-
getting new at this, man. We're not gonna bust your chops.
Yeah, and it's not because I'm the man. It's just because she likes to cook way more than I do.
Sure.
So, I do spaghetti and meatballs. That's about it. Make my own meatballs. Do the whole. No,
You
I
do not.
do frozen
Yeah,
meatballs.
The Costco
brilliant.
ones.
Yeah.
The Costco ones are really good.
Yeah, Albertsons
Neither
has
is
some pretty good ones.
Okay. Yeah.
Frozen.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Italian style.
And you?
Yeah.
Never. Had
Me, I'm the guy who really should have started yard work in the spring.
It's just spring
Bolger?
now.
No, it's summer, Jack.
Damn it.
It's been summer for about 2 weeks. Or a week and a half.
week.
Yeah. And my dish that I feel I've mastered, I'm stuck between two, and you guys are gonna bust my balls on both of them because the first one I'm gonna say is I make a mac and cheese, a homemade mac and cheese.
That's good.
With Gruyere, with
In the
Parmesan,
Instapot?
with cheddar. No, I make it on the stove and then in the oven.
With the roux.
Yeah, with the roux and with breadcrumbs and all, and I actually
Do you make your
mac
own
and cheese with broccoli.
breadcrumbs?
No, I don't make my own breadcrumbs.
Okay.
No.
At Thanksgiving, I do.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Well, stuffing.
I was going to also say my second is actually I'm pretty damn good at making a homemade pizza of all different styles. I do a lot of different homemade pizzas.
Do you have a wood-fired oven?
Nope.
Nope.
I do
But
make one on the
you're-
grill though. I do make one on the grill. A lot of times during the winter months, I don't do any grill. I just
You need a
have
grill
a pizza stone.
inset into your garage.
You know what?
like I have.
I keep asking.
You just
You
put
do?
a grill under there. Yeah.
First,
it's
we need a
inset.
urinal down here before you.
Right.
yeah. Let's get priorities
Right.
straight.
But you
right?
can put your grill under that carport. Okay.
that could be
so
cool.
nice to be here.
It is. It's nice to have you here, Jack. Jack, talk to us.
I don't get to talk to anybody like this.
You've been in Hawaii for
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
You didn't bring
I've
a
never
bike.
been to Hawaii.
You didn't bring a bike.
I didn't. I regret it, but I'm going back.
Okay.
We'll
I'm gonna bust your
definitely-
chops because it's a cycling
Definitely
podcast.
bring in a bike next time. It's amazing.
Speaking of bikes,
Oh, you're going to leave Maui and go right to bikes.
Yeah, because you don't have anything to say about bikes
and it's
in
a
Maui.
and it's a
I met a
90
really
minute
cool.
podcast.
I really met a cool bike shop owner.
Did you really?
Yeah.
In Maui?
He traveled. Yes, he traveled back in '87 with Undam, from Craig Undam from Colorado Boulder area to Super Week. He also he was a coach, brought juniors up to about our age from Louisiana. I
Our age
don't
back then.
remember back then.
Yeah.
And they're not juniors.
50-year-old junior.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
like that's
You
fucking
know, I mean,
creepy.
you can be what you want to be.
Yeah, there we go. It's today's society.
Yeah.
But anyway, great guy, the owner of Maui Cyclery. His name's Don, and yeah, so it was good. I wish I had a bike there.
Very cool.
And there was a bike race this weekend there,
Oh,
up a volcano.
Oh, I wouldn't do that one.
So, give us an update, Jack.
So
Everybody wants to know what's your bike update.
my bike's
The Argon, right? Argon 18.
yes, Argon 18,
really hot.
Gallium Pro, 2021 edition. Because
It's fucking outdated already.
No. Well, it is probably 11-speed SRAM red, but it is the
E-tap?
The reason E-tap. It's discs, of course.
Oh, shit.
NV wheels, carbon FSA bars. But anyway, the reason I went with this bike was the geometry is very classic. It's not an aero bike. It's got some.
I keep waiting for the two of you guys because you're perfect bookends on this. Because
Right.
usually when the
Aero,
Aero Jackson nods, on the
Aero,
disc brakes
everything,
Paul
and then-
shakes
yeah,
his
yeah,
head.
yeah.
On the
Yeah.
Aero Paul
Yeah.
would, it's so fun. It's perfect. I got
So-
it in shot right now.
So there was one podcast about a month or two ago that I said, no, I'm not getting one. I don't get it. They just can't get one.
Yeah.
They actually changed the Gallium Pro to like something like a Gallium CS or CX or something like that. And
All they had to do is add 2 letters, and they could get it.
Yeah.
and it cost more and
Because of the 2 letters.
And they made it flat black, and they added it, or they lowered it to whatever's below SRAM red, whatever that is.
Force.
Force.
Okay.
So I told him, well, if I have to get that, I don't want it. I'll move on.
Because you
And
don't want a flat
I
back
don't want-
black bike.
I don't want all that.
because
I want-
you're
'Cause I
2
have
steps
one.
away from being a
Well,
crit
yeah, I
racer.
don't want to be right. two steps.
First
I'm
of all,
5
you need a
steps
flat
away.
black bike.
be a
Second of
crit
all,
racer?
you need a camera on your helmet. And
Oh.
third of all, you just need a mustache like mine.
I don't
and
have
you're an
any of
immediate
that.
crit racer.
I didn't have any of that. So, the bottom line is
Jackson's like, do I even need to be here?
Yeah.
No, I'm listening. This is fun.
somehow, through Jim, he was able to talk to Argon Rep, and they were able to get me a 2021 frame and build at 2021 pricing, which is really amazing. It's probably
Probably
1,000.
higher than 2022 because there
it's-
was nothing. I'm joking.
Yeah.
Go.
So it's actually a little bit less expensive than the lesser bike that they're calling, that is the 2022.
Wow.
And it showed up to Cooley, Idaho today. It's getting built right now. As we speak, I've been sending him pictures of a level with my reach and my stack.
Setting it up.
And yeah, so because it came, the hydraulics weren't hooked up.
Oh,
all of that wasn't hooked up. So he's
yeah.
putting it all together right as we speak. He just lost power while I was driving up here. But thank
Well,
me
fuck,
for the
that's
pictures.
going to slow him down. His
Well,
compressor will
the
work.
torque wrench still works.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
so anyway, I'm there.
So what
I'm
do you-
tomorrow.
like,
I have a new
seriously?
bike. That's
Seriously, tomorrow.
You gonna go there and pick it up?
Yeah, because Thursday I'm leaving for Vancouver and I won't be back all summer. So
This is Jack's last show with us for,
oh my God.
for a
the
little
summer.
bit, unless I'm back on a Tuesday, and then I'll ask you if I can come back for the day.
Well,
I know
Ask.
you'll probably have Brent sitting here, which is Connecticut.
Brent's going to commute.
Yeah,
He's got a heck of a commute.
Yeah, well. So anyway, that's my bike update. Is I own a 99.9% own a bike.
Can
New bike.
you take a first reaction picture so we can post it so people can see it? Because
Do
I
you
do
want it
get
bare
constantly
naked?
people at no.
Yep.
No.
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 Fuck's sake,
Yes,
no.
please.
Okay.
You just want to show off your tan lines. That's
Yeah,
all.
I
You do.
kind of got surfer
Yeah.
tan going on.
You're next to a pretty long. I was waiting for you to come back and say, "Hey, I needed a baseball hat. I gave it away to a random kid."
Nope.
I'm
Nope.
just
I
glad.
saw no kids on Maui. There was no fucking kids
They're not
on
allowed.
Maui. No dogs, no kids, no snakes, no mosquitoes.
Wow.
Yep.
Sounds like paradise.
It is.
Except
I'm
for
moving
the
there
dogs.
after
be pretty
Vancouver.
Populous.
Why no
there.
mosquitoes?
I have no idea.
They
It
just
was
got rid of 'em.
barely any flies, barely any bugs.
There's no shit.
There's
no shit.
there's
on that
geckos. There's mongooses. I think the mongooses take care of everything.
Ricky
They're
Tikki
crazy
Jobby.
all over the place.
Hey, Paul and Jackson, how was the ride week gone? Paul and I, by the way, had a great ride on Saturday with Bike Fit Sam, so I'm going to mention that. And by the way, following it with post-ride beers is one of my most favorite things in the world. It's just I can only do it on days that I have nothing else to do that day. Because we
He
went.
failed after that.
No, I came home and I was just like, Michelle was gone for the weekend, so I just came home and I was just like,
You napped?
yeah, I did. I'm not gonna lie, I napped. And I guess I'm going first. I did get right on Tuesday last week, as I did today, and Wednesday I did the second to last mountain bike race. My last mountain bike race of the year. I'm gonna be honest, it's tomorrow, because we do the Wednesday night races series for May and June, and then it's like I just hang up my bike, and then next year in late April, I'll take the bike off the hook and I'll take the number off from last year and get ready to put it on the next one this year. And then that ride on Saturday was great. It was hard. How are you guys? How'd it go?
Mine was pretty mellow. After the chafe we did, I didn't really want to go all that hard. My first ride was on Wednesday for that race, the mountain bike race, and then I rode Thursday. I rode by myself, but I rode hard. I was going down a street by my house, and the tailwind was so nice, and I was pushing so hard that I was able to hit 31 miles an hour. It wasn't a downhill or anything, and some of the cars were going by me like not understanding what was going on, how I could keep like the same pace with them, so that made me feel kind of good.
With your mouth closed.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And then over the weekend,
Texting.
yeah, just taking it easy, you know. And then over the weekend, I didn't do anything just because I want to be fully sure that my knee doesn't really hurt that bad coming soon. So,
And you had familial obligations.
yeah, and it was kind of nice.
Soon to be familial obligations.
Well, yeah. And then it's just kind of nice sometimes to not to take a little bit. I mean, I didn't take it off, but took it a little easier. So, yeah.
Paul, talk to me.
Yeah, I can't remember if I rode during the week or not because I'm
Aluminum
almost 60.
foil.
Yeah, aluminum foil.
Yep.
I don't eat the salmon, but it's
the
cooking
salmon with
over
the
it.
foil.
Yeah.
What?
I'm telling you.
This is just the fumes of the, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Guys,
yeah, I
you
can't
guys
remember.
are
I
making
think
fun of me, but if you ever smoked weed out of a can back in the day, this was supposed to cost all summers.
in fourth
Yeah.
grade. But
Not the
quit after
weed.
that.
But the can.
No, it's the can because the aluminum.
Yeah, right.
All right.
I heard that.
Yeah.
But it was fourth grade for me.
I think I can't
out of
remember.
aluminum can.
You were smoking weed
Yeah.
out of an aluminum
Yeah,
can in fourth grade.
babysitter got us high every day for like a month.
That
during the
explains a
summer.
lot.
What?
Jeez.
Yeah.
Paul,
Well, yeah.
you're cycling. Wait, before we get too far down the rabbit hole of Jack's psychosis.
Well, yeah, we did Saturday's ride with Bike Fit Sam.
Yeah.
And I could feel towards the end of the ride, I'm thinking, well, I didn't think we went all that hard. We had some decent wins, but
Yeah.
but as we progressed about halfway, I could feel my legs, getting feeling blocked.
We did
and
about
stuff, so
55, right?
Yeah, but
Something
there was
like
some
that?
intensity involved there.
Yeah.
It's never easy with Sam because
No.
he's like,
He's so
asshole.
He, I mean, but in the best way. Sam would
Yeah.
actually be honored that you called him an
Yeah,
asshole
right,
because it's this suffer until you
drop.
die kind of a
Yeah.
mentality, and
Yeah.
he's just like, okay, you fuckers, here we go, and it's, oh my god. I mean, I think we talked about this on the last show about somebody in the group. There's always somebody in the group who's just like going, I can go again,
Yeah.
freedom, just charging into the battle every time. It
Can
sounds
you
like
imagine what he's like in the bedroom?
All
Wow,
right,
not
yeah,
until
Got a
now.
lot going on.
I don't want to even imagine that. So
Yeah.
anyway,
this
Sunday.
segment brought to you by
Oh, Manscaped.
Ambassador,
Yeah,
Ambassador
Manscaped, yeah.
Cycling.
Oh,
Yeah, Paul. So Sunday.
So Sunday I put
Yeah,
out.
you got bailed on.
Yeah, but I didn't know. I saw no response, and there was a big event happening here that affected Jackson. And Saturday, I got a text from an old coworker of mine that he and his sons were playing down. He says, "Hey, we're at 8:00," and I said, "I'll see if I can make it." And I wasn't going to make 8:00, so he says, "Well, we just won." At 8:30, he says, "We just won. We play at 11." So I went out, did 30 some miles, and came back and watched them lose. So
This is
I
Hoop
had that.
Fest
Yeah.
for people
Fest
who
is
don't know what's
huge.
going on. It's
The
the world's
largest-
largest 3-on-3 basketball tournament that's held in our downtown.
I played
this
it 8
weekend.
years.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
We should build a team.
No, I don't want to snap Achilles. That was like
It would be the
It's the
funniest. It would be. We would be out in 38 seconds if I played.
I don't think
you,
so.
you lose
Four of
it's
us.
You got any
double
skills?
elimination.
You got any skills?
Tall.
Okay, then what's 38 times 2? We'd be out in 74 seconds because I am terrible. I am the worst basketball player ever set foot on this earth. Worst. My wife played basketball all through high school and into college, and
She'll kill you at
oh,
horse and
fuck.
all
oh
that.
yeah,
Yep.
oh yeah. She's played a couple years, and Jackson, you played a couple years in grade school.
Played 1 year, yeah.
Oh, you just 1 year?
Just 1 year, yeah.
God, I thought it was more than that. Felt
Seemed like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I got to does anybody have any intention of racing before September?
My bike is blue, not black, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That is a perfect
Remember-
response.
Remember, he was in
Yeah.
fourth grade.
It's a fucking
He was in
perfect
fourth
response.
grade, so that explains why that came out of left field.
Are we gonna race?
Cross?
My bike is blue.
Fourth grade, everybody.
Babysitter's coming to you with an aluminum can, going, "Come on, Jack,
Yeah.
ride the snake."
I don't know if he should.
Right. This.
That's heroin, right?
Yeah.
That's heroin.
Yeah,
but
it's-
yeah.
I have no
else,
idea.
too.
It's a
I
funny
didn't know.
joke, Sorry. Am I in trouble for saying ride the
Yeah,
snake?
comments are
Yeah,
lighting up. Right
Yeah, yeah.
YouTube just
You
went.
should watch out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find something, but I don't have anything on the radar
Well,
other than that crit weekend.
Yeah, the crit weekend. The only drawback on that is, there's 2 races down there. It makes it viable for me, but Vancouver is like almost the longest point between Spokane
if you lived
in the
in-
state of Washington.
Yeah.
And it's the 35-minute crit.
And gas is $6 a gallon, and and
God.
we have one car, and it's
Yeah.
the weekend my wife works. So
Yeah.
you know,
No,
it's
I
like
did throw it
things are
out there.
stacking out
I did throw it out there, and I'm about as flaky as the day is long. But that maybe perchance you and I just drive down there and do the
Our race
weekend,
is at
two of
9
us.
o'clock in the morning. So
No, we
You
drive
come
down
the
there the
night
night
before
before.
and
We
stay in my lawn.
We sleep on Jackson's.
On the lawn.
Jack's,
No, I meant,
Jack's lawn.
Are you driving that RV?
No.
yeah, at
Just
just
put
6
some-
miles to the gallon.
Put some
10.
wind fairings
10, I'm
on
sorry.
it. You know, some wind.
But
Fucking discs
I
on the-
would be willing to go down there for. I'd be willing to go down there for the 2 days if just a old school kind of go bike racing hardcore.
Yeah.
What about him?
Well,
I'm not gonna go.
Jackson's not going to go. Somebody's got to turn their fucking phone on mute. But anyway,
But I got bike stuff coming.
and
fair.
Jackson, do you have anything on the radar?
Not really. I mean, if
Yeah.
there's something in anywhere close, I'll see if I can make
Fucking
it. But,
cycling.
it's weird because it's like it's a bummer that all the racing went away, but it's also I feel like we did a lot of racing in a short amount of time, and then Arrive got results, I will say. Out of it. Yeah.
We did.
And then it's might be nice to take a little bit of like that racing pressure off and just like ride to enjoy riding rather than like, at least this is me speaking, because like I sometimes when I have a race coming up, I begin to ride to gain fitness for racing rather than enjoy the ride. So I'm excited to enjoy like our competitive group rides.
That's cool.
So
I don't hate that. I don't have a problem with that. I am planning with some not fun rides
Right across the state.
for a group. Now, you know what? And my Cross Washington ride is being threatened. My wife looked at me last night. She was like, hey, we could easily go up to a local lake / campground, which is 75 miles away, and, spend the week in a beautiful RV spot with this lake out in front of us. And I could see in her eyes, she's looking at me going, do I really have to drive an RV to the next campground ahead of you? Because I was going to fully bike pack the thing. I was going to go full camp mode. But she looked at me and she says, well, I've got that week off, so how about I just bounce ahead of you in the RV, and then we have a place for you to stay every night. And I'm like, holy shit, that's not bike packing, but that sounds kind of cool. Mm-hmm. And as time has progressed, she's kind of looked at me going, 10 miles a gallon. I don't really like driving the RV, and I don't blame her because it's big and bulky and and things like that. And so I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, I thought she'd be playing the. Well, you did race on our anniversary.
Yeah. Oh shit.
She's got that card in her back pocket.
I've been
She can
fucking
do
up
that.
our anniversary ever since we got married because usually my job has a show that weekend and stuff like that, so it's just not even bothered. So enough of the chit chat. This is a podcast focusing on the 2022 Tour de France. I know every cycling podcast out there is probably posting a tour preview show, but this is likely to be the one with the most smart assery. Oh, well, with the greatest insight, because we are experts.
I'm
in our
out of
field.
shit.
Yep. Yeah, Jack.
You can start picking.
Yep.
So
I already got 3.
Well, you need 1 leader.
No,
One
hold on. We'll
opportunity.
get there.
Well,
We'll get there.
to help him start picking.
Oh, no. I want to throw this at him at the last minute.
Hey, I won
Yeah.
last time.
So let's get some perspective, gentlemen. Let's get some perspective on our experiences of the tour. So, and a couple of these questions I'm stealing from my friend John Galloway, who's actually doing a very similar style of show for the Cycling Legends podcast, which I am also a part of. So I feel fine to cross promote and tell people to listen to those shows. They're doing really good stuff over there. So, gentlemen, in no particular order, Jack just wrote French dude on his paper.
Third place.
So what is your first memory of the Tour de France? Your first memory. What brings it all into perspective? Maybe not the one that brought you in, but your first really probably popped into your mind while I was flapping my gums.
Are you talking to me?
I'm talking to anybody.
Oh.
I'm talking to
You go first.
I
I got to think of this.
Aluminum can, 4th grade.
Don't forget that, folks.
You just got the Alzheimer's already.
Mine was 1985. I saw Paris-Roubaix 1984, and then the next I saw 85 Paris-Roubaix. Then I saw Tour de France, and that was Greg LeMond and Hinault battle. And then from that on.
That is so fucking hilarious because I actually have the VHS copy of that race in this house somewhere. I don't even want to play it. But
I have one.
Do you really?
Well, come on.
It's commonly used every day.
It's fine. It's Paul's the VHS.
When he sits down on the toilet, he pushes a button on the wall, and then all of a sudden, oh, that's your iPad.
Yes.
Yeah. That tour was my first real moment. I had seen 84, but 85 is my true first memory too.
Who won in 84?
Laurent Fignon. Mm-hmm. God, you were trying to stop. You thought,
I'm going to get him here. Testing it.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
I don't know
who won in 83.
I didn't know who Lel Wilcox was, but
you keep bringing that up.
I'm fucking bitter. 83 was also Fignon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to back.
Yeah. Jack, what's your first memory of the Tour de France?
I think the arguments between the interviews with Le Monde being frustrated and not being able to win. That he was very vocal on camera.
Yeah.
And, just throwing his hands, just like, I don't understand,
Do you want me to punch you in the face? Remember that moment? Do you want me to punch you in the face?
Yeah.
You get out of here.
Yeah,
I'm quoting Greg LeMond directly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was super fucking frustrated, and I do remember that, like intensity. I think the next day, there was still some holdback, and then Fignon didn't. I'm sorry, Fignon. You guys got me on that. Didn't he start to fail?
Yep.
Because of his crash.
Well, I remember the crash in the sprint where he fucking bloodied his face, and it was.
And that's where Le Monde got the next day. He was in a break with Stephen Roche.
Okay. And they told him to hold back.
And they told him to hold back.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And Paul Koshley. And actually, Paul Koshley, great tactician, but a terrible manager of people. It's like, Bill,
too strong
he'd make
personalities.
A great politician in today's society.
Yeah. He so that is also another intense memory is getting up and riding across the line with just blood coming down his face. Yeah. Those were some hard guys. Fuck this shit.
Yeah, no.
No?
They asked him, "Do you still have a chance to win?" He goes, "I broke my nose. I still have two legs.
Yeah, as long as I have two legs, I attack or something
like that.
Something like that. Yeah. And I always lived my life off of what I thought the quote was, and it was John Tesch's interpretation of the quote.
With music in the background.
No, John Tesch said, "As long as I have two arms and
two legs,
it will be difficult for the rest of them,"
yeah.
which is not what he said. No. And I've always just like, John Tesch, you keyboard fuck. You did not. You totally messed me up.
Your hero,
John Tesch.
Yeah.
No, why would he be my hero?
He has his box set.
Because I really have a dream of hosting entertainment tonight.
Him and Peter Cetera, I thought were your.
Fuck you, Jack. Jackson, what's your first memory of the tour? And this will be something out of
35 years later.
Yeah. I think I've always been around it because you've always put it on the TV some way, somehow.
Sorry.
No, I was about to say, because it's funny because my fiance also talks about this now with me, which I find a really weird roundabout way of it all coming back around. But it's always been a comfort thing for me being on in the house, especially because in America, it comes on early in the morning, and then it comes on at like prime time at like 6.
It cradles your day.
And it is genuinely, cradle is such a perfect way to describe it, because it is, especially being off in the summer, like having done stuff all day and then to come back and have the calming presence of the tour on. That is my first memory. But the last tour that I remember was when Lance came back and he got
99.
third that year.
Sure. Oh, third?
Yeah.
No.
Didn't he get like second or third one year?
When he came back, he won.
No, when
he got third in the Vuelta. He got third.
Contador won when he came back, and he was going to do it.
The second comeback.
Yeah, the second comeback.
I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
He got didn't he get second or third?
Yeah, I think he was
third.
I think he was third.
Yeah.
And
I can't look it up because there are no Tour de France victories listed by Lance Armstrong.
Right.
Yeah. But
he didn't win. He
not
didn't
even
win.
third place. They wouldn't even list third. I totally thought you were talking when he came back from cancer.
No, when he came back.
Okay.
When he came
he
back
should
from
never
retirement.
have fucking come
And
back.
I was about to say that is what I think was his undoing.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely, 100%.
because he was going to do it clean.
Yeah, but
it pissed everybody off, and that's what got. It's like, all right, you fucker, we're gonna make sure you are going down.
Yeah, and I remember sitting there watching him race in the Astana kit going, God, I hope he beats Contador. Because I, for some reason, hated Contador. Little did I know that I would hate both of them.
Right. They're both equally bad.
Yeah. But that's the last one I remember. And I remember like getting so excited for it. And then the first one that I really cared about was 2019 when Alaphilippe wore the jersey for so long. And then Bernal took it. And I was like, oh, I can't believe I was right. I predicted that one. I'll never forget that one.
I didn't realize I had a gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How about your favorite memory? Not your first, but your favorite. Jackson, you might have mentioned yours right there. But
yeah, I mean, I'll go first because I went last on the last one. I think my favorite memory is when when I was sitting in my apartment in Portland and my fiance and I were watching that's so weird. I know the 2020 time trial, and we both of us, not just me but both of us, were going, oh my God, Roglic is oh wow, he's really losing it. Like that. It was just like heartbreaking but also so exciting in that moment. That was probably one of the most exciting things I've ever seen happen in a tour.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
You guys,
I think it's hard to be cheering for somebody that you're not like 100% vested in for years.
Yeah.
And have somebody else that you could equally be vested in after that. Like that is Roglic and Pogačar. They're both very likable, both very like
I'd be cool with either of them winning.
Yeah. And so to watch that was heartbreaking for one, amazing for the other, their buddies or whatever. It's a pretty cool story.
And I remember seeing it too, going, wow, this is like the future of what we're going to see for a while. That like these two fighting it out.
Yeah. What was the question?
Most memorable.
Most
favorite memory of the tour. It doesn't have to be a year. It could be just a moment.
It's for me. God, there was fucking 7 really exciting years of Lance, and it's sad to say, but under the circumstances, it was everybody would be lying in this room if they weren't saying, "This is an amazing situation." You know, the sport, all that, and then when I know it crashed, but during the process, during the years, it was amazing. The whole world was on board through whether it was Livestrong or people who knew nothing about cycling, and all of a sudden this American's
everybody
winning.
had a yellow wristband.
Everybody had everything, and it was all about Lance.
You did? I did.
Well, but it's
I did.
I probably still have one kicking around in some drawer, but you know, so as sad as it all ended up being, it was the most exciting American racing for me in all those years. And I don't even know if I was racing during those years. Not maybe one of those years.
Yeah.
So
I was writing. I wasn't racing, but no, I agree. So
last year I raced, we were at Cascade, and he won Cascade. He went to Vuelta, got third in Vuelta, and he showed up at Cascade gaunt, just right off of cancer therapy. He showed up 15 pounds lighter and fucking skin and bones, and won. Didn't win a stage, but
dope to the gills.
Probably. And then the very next year he started his tour wins. So, you know, for me, it was like, God, I saw a guy go from like near death to getting really good to, oh my God, he got third at the Vuelta. You just don't do that.
They were fucking unbelievable tours. We can all probably
They were.
agree.
And it's tough because it's America was on top. We were all
if it was
banding
some Russian dude, we'd be like, fuck you, you're out. You know? But
we'd be like, oh,
I know he's doping.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Been doping since he was a baby.
Yeah.
Eat that bell off.
Folks.
Yeah.
4th grade.
Bell off.
They made him. He's not a human.
Yeah.
So,
I was trying to find a Russian name, and then I went, God, I got to go with the guy from American Flyers.
Yeah.
Eat that bell off. Paul, favorite
1987, Stephen Roach. Yeah.
Well, he won
Stephen
the
Roach
Triple
going to
Crown,
La Plan.
right?
Yeah, but it was up La Plan.
Yeah.
There was a really tough. He was behind Delgado, and Delgado was in yellow, and that's when they used to have the multicolored jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And,
he was wearing that.
Yeah, he was wearing that, and it was just the whole way. And he went on an early break, and he got caught by Delgado, and Delgado blew past him, and on the final climb in La Plaine, and I remember watching it, and I see him shift in his big chainring, Stephen Roach, and he just puts his head, because he was blown, because he was in the break the whole day, and he cut it down to 8 seconds. He still wasn't in yellow, and then 2 days later, I think it was the time trial, and he slaughtered.
The stage where they put him on oxygen, wasn't it?
Yeah, he collapsed.
Put him on oxygen.
Yeah, the people were worried about him, and I think the next day was a rest day.
I'm sure there's no drugs involved.
Hey,
I mean,
because I'm about to follow that up by saying, if you look through the archives of the Packfiller podcast, I talked to Stephen about that very moment, and he talked about how deep he had to go for that moment. That was one of the hardest moments he'd ever had on a bike.
People were holding him up, and you could see his eyes rolled in the back of his head.
Yeah,
I thought that was admirable, and he had no team that really supported him. Carrera.
They were split with Vicentini,
especially at the Giro. That's where it started and stuff.
Yeah.
That's why he left that year.
Yeah. I can't believe you didn't say 1989. Greg LeMond.
That was cool.
The time trial.
That was cool, but to me, the effort that I like when people go so deep that they pass out of the line. Yeah. To me, that's cool. LeMond had an advantage. He used tri-bars, so it was spectacular. It was very memorable, but
now that you say that was probably, I've told so many people about that particular
moment
where, like, 51 seconds, there is no fucking way Le Mans going to win this tour. 51.
It's supposed to be a promenade.
How many miles was that time trial?
15.
Yeah. You're not making up 21 seconds on a time trialist, because Fignon was good time trialist. He
had a boil on his taint, though.
On his taint?
Yeah. He had a boil on his taint.
He should have stood up the whole thing.
Yeah.
Fignon had a boil on his taint?
I don't know. If he used Manscaped, he would not have.
There you go. But no longer.
Oh, that's good.
So
about 5 weeks ago.
Where were you then? Jesus.
I have no
But there was...
Share your favorite ball shaving moment. Well,
so anyway,
let's dig up Laurent Fignon and ask him about
I didn't know about
that, happy with a ball shaver.
I didn't know about the boil, but that was fucking.
I didn't know about the ball shaver.
We all stood by the TV and said there is no fucking way he's making up 51 seconds, and or whatever it was, and he fucking made it up, and we're like,
I was at a race.
It was a revolutionary, like, you can't.
On the count of 3, do an impression of Kathy Lamond when she saw Greg pass by. Back away from your mics. 1, 2, 3. Greg!
I don't know. Not me.
I wasn't alive, so it doesn't matter.
I knew it.
Aluminum foil. Aluminum can.
Greg! She was screaming her head off.
Who
wouldn't, by the way?
And
Who wouldn't?
aluminum foil.
Jack,
that's my problem.
No offense, but you're a little screwed.
A little.
Now, the funny thing is, I was at a race. It was a stage race.
Jack, you're going to be
And at the end of the road race, they announced Greg LeMond just won the tour. I said, no, this
bullshit.
is, no way.
Fake news.
And if that's the case, then something happened.
What
Fignon
race
crashed. It was Moscow, Idaho stage race.
Oh.
So, and I'm like, no
I
way.
didn't even see the coverage of it.
I had it on tape. I went home and had to watch it.
Yeah, I had to beg friends to send me a tape of it because none of this shit was on demand.
Yeah.
Jackson, there was a time where we couldn't even watch shit.
You had to watch
when we wanted
Sunday.
See, it's funny because I was also alive when shit wasn't on demand.
Yeah.
We had to watch Worldwide Sports, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was CBS
edition.
That was CBS still, I think.
Yeah.
No, ABC.
It was CBS. Fuck, I don't even know. Yeah, but anyway, so talk to me, you guys. If before we get into our picks and stuff like that, talk to me about what makes a great tour versus what makes a boring tour. Are there elements that fall into place of the years that you've watched where you're going, God damn, that was a good one, or shit, that was a shitty one, that was a boring one. What are the differences? Is it personal investment in a rider? Is it that the attacking style of the race? Is it the parkour? Is it what was it that makes a tour interesting to you? Panel, go for it.
I think that like the closeness of like each jersey competition can make it really interesting. Like I said with the 2021, I think 2020 was a crazy year, especially because it was off. It wasn't when it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Which made it interesting, but also it was such a close competitive tour. It was probably one of the hardest raced tours I've ever watched because everyone's like, this might be the only race we ever get.
Yeah.
But I remember the green jersey that year was super interesting between Sagan and Sam Bennett. Cha-ching. That's what it was supposed to be. And then, yeah, there we go. That one, and then the yellow jersey was super interesting.
Yeah.
It was just all a crazy year. I mean, and that kind of reminds me of like the 2018 Vuelta. I remember was super interesting too, or it was 2018, 2019, doesn't matter, but because that was when we first saw that battle begin to happen. And so yeah, I think that just the tension between jerseys can make it really entertaining, but boring were the Chris Froome years. When it was just like he had 5 minutes on the entire field and nobody cared.
Years, the marginal gains, I will say, can we probably agree? Some of the later Lance Armstrong tours became very just the method, the approach, the understanding, the dominance of something like that.
And this is gonna sound really odd, but I kind of believe that I wonder if COVID made racing, at least pro racing, a different game. I think it made it, I don't want to say it made it more interesting, but it almost kind of did. Because everybody, it's so action-packed. It's the young guys just going out for it. It could be their last race. And it's not that I'm happy that COVID came. Don't ever.
No.
But
I think it's a generational shift. I think there became a moment where, fuck you, I'm not waiting for my permission to be an attacking rider in pro cycling. I'm going now. And that's this new generation, we've talked about this before, has this mentality that's like, screw you, old man, I'm going. And that's where things have changed.
Yeah.
Paul, Jack, what makes a good tour versus a bad tour?
Well, I was thinking about that even today. At work, not focusing on work. I was thinking about bike racing.
You were at work today?
Yeah, I worked.
I would have called in an inspection.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, there you go.
Jackson, you and I were the only ones who would get that reference. And I love it.
So to me, again, in '87, the Battle of Jerseys.
Yeah.
Jean-Francois Bernard was a young French hopeful, and he won the yellow jersey and Mont Ventoux about halfway through, and it looked solid. And then the next day, he gets a flat, and I found out later, like a decade later, that there was a pack that he was so cocky and people didn't like him. They agreed to attack, which is not to attack. They didn't really attack, but they didn't slow down for the yellow jersey. And he was
politics. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what you get.
So, so that was interesting, and just the battle back and forth, the yellow jersey with Delgado, and then same with even in '89, Fignon had it, Le Mans had it, and it went back and forth, and the Le Mans was cracking towards the end until he did his time trial.
These on and off the potential winners.
That's one way.
Yeah.
When you see the battle, instead of somebody holding it, and it's kind of there is that cadenza that builds up when somebody like Pogacar at the last day, and that's pretty cool. But to make the whole race, to see, usually the first week is thrown away. You're just seeing who stays upright and who wins the sprints. That in the old style, there wasn't any decision or selective type of stages. But when they start getting into the meat of things on the second week and it's going back and forth, and you see somebody lose a little bit of time, but not enough, you're thinking this person can come back. The more the merrier, the more that switches off from different people up top. That makes it exciting.
So basically what we're all talking about is we're talking about the fact that the great tours need to require an attacking style of some sort, or some sort of a on and off leadership, and we don't get them quite often.
Well, you mentioned it with Armstrong and Ineos or Sky at the time. that's the most boring.
And
yeah,
that's what you guys were saying. I didn't even need to comment on this, but that is where the time just keeps building by the winner, and everybody's shooting for second and third.
Yeah, they just
that's
quit.
the most boring.
And there's
riding.
this settlement of teams that it's like a 5th place is better than a 10th place, so don't attack. Because if it goes wrong, we want a 5th place.
Right.
And that's what bums me out about stage racing is where we run into this, hey man, we got a top 10 in the Tour de France.
Yeah.
Keep it mellow.
Just keep it. It's like the Giro this year. I mean, to finish basically with your winning on the last 2 days of the race is what we're looking for, or Roglic and Pogacar, or everything's changed. As long as it's like that, stage racing becomes way more interesting on a daily basis than the 5-minute win.
Yeah. Rapid fire, is this a tour for Tadej to lose? In other words, is he in control of his destiny? Yes or no? Jackson, yes. Jack?
Yeah.
Paul?
I think so.
Okay. So we've all agreed that very, very, the chances are we've all circled that name when our bets come to push comes to shove. So on paper, we've all had a chance to look at the paper. Jack, maybe a little less. Fucker showed up late. On paper, everybody. Now keep in mind, we've got every multi-million-dollar organization grabbing the top. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 riders. The top 8 riders, multi-million-dollar organizations, picking the top 8 people on their roster for this very specific moment. So people are all at their physical peak condition, right? On paper, which of these teams, if you had to rapid fire answer to me, who should be the dominant team of this Tour de France?
Jumbo-Visma.
Jumbo-Visma.
Honestly, Jumbo-Visma, yeah.
By far.
Okay.
But the strongest team, every guy on the team is.
The more I look at
Except number 9.
at UAE has a pretty damn good team. Pogacar, Bennett, George Bennett, Michael Berg, I don't know him, Matteo Trentin.
McNulty.
I didn't know they got George Bennett too.
Yeah. Brandon
But he's been
McNulty,
doing
Mark
nothing.
Soler,
Yeah.
Rafael Micah has been flying.
Yeah.
Now, I was thinking when a couple weeks ago when I saw or last week when I saw Jumbo-Visma's entry, I said, oh, fuck, it's the best team in the world. UAE looks unbelievable. And don't even get me started. Castroviejo, Filippo Ganna, Daniel Martinez, Tom Pidcock, Luke Rowe, Garrett Thomas, Dylan Van Barle, Adam Yates. Holy shit. Ineos.
Who's the leader?
It looks like an unbelievable team.
Yeah.
But we're all going to agree that youth, current fitness, past results are going to show us that Jumbo-Visma is probably the best team on paper.
And I said this before.
I'm not saying they're going to win.
Yeah, and I said this before we started, and I said I'd say it again, and here it is. I don't think we're going to see Ineos in the top 3 at all.
Yeah.
Because
Really?
well, to me, they're relying on.
But Garrett won the Tour of Switzerland, Jack.
They did,
kind
but-
of mediocrity. It's not the
I get. I get.
Egan Bernal.
Yeah,
It's
it's and they're relying on such a inconsistent Grand Tour rider. I know I make fun of him all the time, but in a Yates.
Yeah.
A Yates will always blow it.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think Geraint Thomas can go against a Roglic or a Pogacar.
I think it's Martinez or Garrett. It's
Yeah.
their leaders. And so, and the key to this, I think, is that climbers are going to have a bunch of time because there's a 40K TT at the end of this. And you can lose a bunch
Which
of time.
not a lot of people
You
are
could lose
talking about.
5 minutes.
I mean, you look at the profile, you look at the parkour of this tour, and it is a fuck ton of climbing.
Yeah.
Fuck ton of climbing. But there's not a lot of discussion of that TT,
Yeah.
and that's going to be a huge breaker.
When is it? The TT?
It's the second to last day.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
Well, that explains to me why Bora didn't bring Sergio Higuita. He could be great, but he can't time trial for his life.
Yeah.
You would have to, again, have a buttload of time before.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could lose. That's heartbreaking, losing the time trial last Roglic.
So what are some issues? We're talking about them right now, and I just want you guys to bring up any more that's just rapid fire in your head that are popping into this. Some issues that you feel going into this are going to be pivotal to the race. For example, a Roglic Pogačar duel, the Roglic-Vingo potential battle for leadership, the quick step choice of leaving Cav at home. We gotta address that elephant to a certain degree. The Matthew versus Wout issues, the parkour itself. If you had to pick one or two issues that you were gonna say are really gonna play key in this race, for the people listening right now, what should they look out for?
Oh, I think the quick step conversation is really interesting. Because in my thought, when I saw their team announcement, I immediately thought, first of all, no Remco, no Alaphilippe. I don't blame them on that.
And de Klerk just tested positive, so he's not going to be there.
COVID?
Yeah, and so Seneschal took his
that
spot.
could be a Phil.
They didn't pick Cav.
Yeah.
Who did they fill?
They
Seneschal.
Florian Seneschal. Yeah. And so I think, I'm going to say it, I think they'll take a stage or two, but they will not take the green. Nowhere near.
Sagan's there.
I agree.
Yeah, but
I'd be a Vanderpool.
We're going to talk about sprinters here in a second,
Yeah.
but just the issues here.
I think that team is relying so heavily on just taking a couple stages here and there. They're not going to really be at the forefront of anything, which I think is going to be really weird, and especially off of Cav taking that red, white, and blue jersey. They're gonna
wearing that kit and potentially beating Merckx's record.
Yeah.
That's legendary.
Patrick Lefevre is a guy who will not shy away from media and marketing, and I can't understand why he won't put this guy just on the team.
The Oakley money, let alone.
You lost Julien Alaphilippe. You lost de Klerk. Both are gone. You're putting all your eggs in the basket of one guy. Give the guy. I mean, even worst case scenario, Mark Cavendish should be one of the best lead out men after Michael Markov in the business.
Yeah.
But if you
I can't get inside the mind of it.
One stage win.
Yeah. Done.
Then their whole season
has
changed. Yeah, I mean, because they've had
it's been a terrible season.
Yeah,
no, they're the leading in points overall with the relegation. They're number one team. So
really,
yeah, but they still.
So here's my take on
that'd
it.
be some flash.
Yeah. It's one of those things. Yeah, on the marketing and money wise, I think Cavendish would be a great deal. I don't know what the direction is. I don't blame Jakobsen being in there. I think he has the most wins of any sprinters.
Sure.
So, I mean, they're obviously their team set up for more stage wins. There's only 5 true sprinting ones, and one I'm going to argue that it may not be, and that's stage 2.
Yeah.
And that one is going to blow up. So on Saturday, with 20 kilometers to go. Yeah. There is a bridge that's 18 kilometers long. They'll have a crosswind for 18 kilometers. It's gonna blow the crap out of it.
That sounds like a Vanderpool Wout.
Right. Yeah.
Bread and butter
and
situation.
that's a
Flanders.
Yeah. Quick step type of
Cav
thing.
won this most recent Brit National Championship.
He did a good
in
job.
a classic format. He won it.
He's fit.
Yeah, he is without a doubt.
But who's the field?
But he did it in a non-sprinter way too, which totally impressive. And I'm not taking away what he did. I mean, he was I think over 150 kilometers on a breakaway.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's guys that joined up, and he stuck with it, and it came down to 3 guys. Mm-hmm. And of course, he waxed them. But still, nevertheless, I think it was probably not an easy call. But I don't know what the relation you have to I'm being the devil's advocate. As a DS, what's the relationship between Jakobsen and Cavendish? Is there going to create a divide where they don't get any? Mm-hmm. You have a proven sprinter that's won 10 races so far already, and a guy who just won his national championships. I mean,
a proven
Cav's
sprinter
that
just won. He's one of you.
Cav's won some
and
other
he's
stuff
young
this year, though.
Yeah,
so.
He's won a couple.
Yeah,
but somebody made a comment. I thought it was interesting. Not to hog the mic, but somebody says, well, just let him roam around and try and pick out a sprint. Well, he doesn't do so well.
It's not his style.
It's not. When he lost in the Champs-Élysées, he lost Morkov on this, and he needs that lead out. Not saying he's not capable of winning that way, but he's more successful in those type of sprints with a lead out. So do you give a lead out to 2 guys? That doesn't work.
Who are some of the riders you guys expect to see in green? at the end of 3 weeks because there's so much climbing in this fucking race.
Well, I think the man himself, Wout van Aert.
You see Wout not being you see Wout being free enough to pursue that jersey.
The team's told
with
him
the
that.
team objectives.
Yeah, the team's told him that he can go for green, and I think there's no reason why he won't be able to take it. I mean,
it'd be an incredible yellow-green win.
Yeah. I think he can take it. I think that Van der Poel just came off of a 3-week Giro, and I think that he's going to go for stages, and I think that's his main rival.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jakobsen's going to take a stage or two, but he's not going to be able to stick in those breaks like Wout can.
Hopefully Wout's got his knee back to full. It's very similar, it sounds like, to what you deal with.
Yeah, seriously. But I mean, there's not going to be the likes of Caleb Ewan, I don't think, taking it either.
He'll take some stages.
Oh yeah,
right? Yeah,
I hope.
But getting over the hills. So that's to reiterate what Jackson's saying. You know, the thing is you can see Wout is unusual where he can win a time trial. He can still work on the flats, you know, to get, you know, Roglic or Vingegaard up to where they need to, and he just shuts down. He'll be ahead of the Gruppetto. He doesn't have to have GC time.
Yeah.
So they're going to free rein. He can sit on anybody's wheel to get the intermediate. I think he's primed for that. They just have to time out where he spends his energy. I mean, let's give up a few points here because this is a crucial stage for climbing. I think that can be done.
It's hard because he's like a Sagan-like rider, riding as a domestique for potentially 2 tour winners.
Yeah.
And that with Sagan, it's never been that way, you know. So
can I ask you guys why you think I'm about to be full of shit for saying the one thing I'm going to say? Look at Team Bike Exchange, Jayco. Look at the lineup. And why am I the only one claiming Michael Matthews has a potential to finish this fucker in green?
Oh, he does.
He does. But when was the last time you saw him at the front of a race?
He won green in Switzerland.
So,
Tour de Suisse.
I mean, but
so you're gonna pull the
who was there?
Oh, god damn it! Yeah,
I know,
see what you're saying.
That's
I see
what's
what
tough,
you're saying.
you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't put it past him doing something pretty cool. I mean, he's that type of rider.
He's
but
riding extremely well.
Yeah, but
extremely well.
I think he's more of that. It's not like I'm calling them heavy by any chance, but I think he's that heavier type of rider like Sagan is, and I think that Wout can do it over there.
Do you want to address this Sagan elephant, Jackson?
I mean, we might as well.
I think
can I touch on?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
touch on that.
Yeah.
So they brought in Groenewegen. So who do you think they're going to lead on the sprint? So he's going to lose points for the green jersey.
I didn't even see Groenewegen's on there.
So he's going to certainly
not going to do squat.
So there's 5.
The entire team was always dropping back to get that guy back on.
Yep.
And I understand he's fast as fuck. But if you can't get to the final K of a race, you're useless.
Stage 2, he's screwed.
Sorry, Paul.
Yeah. Well, I was just saying, who are they going to work for in the sprint?
They should work for Matthews, but they're going to work for Groenewegen.
Yeah, they didn't bring Groenewegen to lead out. So you can see what their strategy is. So I don't think Matthews is going to be a green jersey.
So Bike Exchange is out.
Not in my book, but
They have
Jackson.
been all year.
Jackson, you solely get to address the Peter Sagan issue. I'd play some dramatic music, but I want to simplify it because this is your dude, and he's always been your dude. And I want to know your thoughts on what Peter Sagan's going to be up to. Probably not his last tour, but
yeah, I don't think it'll be his last tour. But I think that he is going to go for the green jersey, and I think he'll get second in that competition. You think he'll
be up there high enough?
Yeah.
Really?
Because I think that, he got COVID, but he didn't really get the symptoms of it this time.
He got COVID.
Yeah, and so, I mean, seeing him win his national championships, sure, it's the Slovakian national championships. It's not really
the last 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's been 13 years since someone called Sagan has not worn that jersey.
Shit.
That's crazy. But he won that, and it seemed like from the pictures that I saw that he was able to put out some effort. And I think that from looking at him at the last, where did he race? Did he race in Switzerland or did he race?
Yeah.
No.
He raced the Dauphiné?
I can't remember one of the two.
One of the two, yeah.
Shit, I can't even remember.
I think it was the Dauphiné because he got COVID.
It was, yeah.
But to see him at
No. Switzerland, because ASO still has not had a possible.
Right.
That's
yeah,
right.
it was
That's
Swiss.
Yep, it was Swiss.
Yep.
But I think that he will. I mean, this is. If we really want to, if the green jersey had another name, we could be honest, it would probably be called the Sagan competition at this point.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's going to go down. I don't think he's going to just back away. I think he's going to try as hard as he can. And hell, maybe Wout might have other duties throughout this. And I don't know if I'm seeing a lot of other opportunists that have an entire team around the green jersey. So I think, I mean, if you really look at Total Energies, there's not, besides, Anthony Torgy, I think that's the only person that can do anything. So I think that they're going to really just band around Peter and hope to get him the green jersey. Because could you imagine if Total Energies got the green jersey? That'd be the biggest result they got.
It'd be great for France.
Yeah.
It would be great for France.
So I think they're all banding around him just to get him the damn thing.
Who will take the most stage victories in your professional opinions, everybody?
Team-wise or individual?
Team and or individual. I'll allow you to pick, but yeah, because you can't really pick a sprinter because it's not going to happen that often.
I say team-wise, Bora Hansgrohe.
Yeah, Bora Hansgrohe? Really? Why so?
They are a stage racing team. They did very well in the Giro. They won quite a few. I think they've got the deck. If they don't win, get up there on the GC, they have plenty of guys. Look at, Vlasov, Kamna. I mean, all these guys, they're good climbers. They're good, rulers or, that type.
Probably pumped up.
Niels
after
Pollitt,
the Giro.
a long break. Yeah. He won last year in the stage. Marco Haller. I think they have and what's his name? Schachmann is there.
Okay.
So
anybody else?
You love Schachmann.
I think I think team-wise, Israel Premier Tech is a really interesting team to look at. Jakob Fuglsang won't win the 3 weeks,
but for
an
an old guard team,
that's
an old guard team that wants to go out on high notes and just blast off fireworks left and right.
Yeah, Mike Woods. I mean,
Michael Woods. I mean, how amazing would it be to see Chris Froome do something?
It'd be nice.
I'd love to see him win something, win a stage.
Just a stage. Yeah. I do remember, Paul. You mentioned Stephen Roche, and Stephen Roche. Couple years after his victory, he won a stage, and I remember seeing that going, fucking all right, that is so cool, and not in some condescending sort of a way, but in a way to see the grand champions who, I don't think it might have been his last tour.
I think it was his last tour. He had a couple other showings. He might have won, or
he was back
up
with
there.
Carrera.
Yeah, he was back with Carrera.
After the Fagor and the Tonton
Tapis
Tapis team.
He was there, or I even won maybe 2 stages.
Yeah.
Or maybe just one.
I think he just won one. Yeah.
But he was there, a couple of times in the Giro. Yeah.
Israel's a pretty good team, actually.
It is, but it is an old guard. Can we agree? I mean, I can't believe I'm going to say old guard. For a lot of these guys. Yeah.
Newish.
Sweating out there, boys.
4-year-old
sweat,
team.
the better.
Yeah, exactly.
Boys, best keep.
Let's talk about the Americans for a second. I mean, just the riders that popped into my immediate vision: Matteo Jorgens, Sepp Kuss, Joe Dombrowski is in the tour.
First time.
His first tour.
At 31.
And Quinn Simmons, the man who hopefully we can start to say his name.
And he won the Mountains jersey.
Won the fucking Mountains jersey. Who do you think will be the top American to finish this tour?
Neilson Powless.
Neilson Powless. I
That's
forgot to
a good call.
mention him there.
He got 4th at in Tour de Suisse. I think it's a pretty good sign of what he's going to be.
And I
He's been
agree
riding
because
really well.
Yeah, and I agree because they don't really have any obligation. I think Brandon McNulty has potential, but he's got obligations.
He does.
Got obligations.
And
I think a little less obligations would be Sepp Kuss. So I would say Sepp would be my.
No, he'll
Sepp's
be
going to
way out.
have way too many obligations.
He's going to have a lot of obligations, but I'm gonna say he's going to be the highest ranked American.
I agree with Jackson on Nelson Powless.
Yeah, I do too.
That's fine.
Now, before I go past it, we have to address quick response. EF kit for the tour, just released. I sent it to you guys.
I
sent it to you guys.
Did you send it
it's
to me?
It's the classic Palace, or whatever it is, collaboration that they did this year. Actually, a really cool cause for it, dealing with women's competition in the women's Tour de France this year.
Oh.
And I'm gonna sneeze, but
I did.
excuse me, I did that on mic. Yes or no?
Beautiful.
I guess I'll say yes or no. Paul's already shaking his head.
Why not?
Why do I tell you what? I don't, those green goblin things.
What the fuck
I think,
are those things?
I don't know.
Are they
what,
dinosaurs? Are they dinosaurs?
I don't know. They're supposed to
dinosaurs.
Dragons.
I just came up with
for
no,
what though?
I just
What
came
they
up with the
symbol?
name. They're dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
To me, it when I
want
look
a
at that,
dollar every
good.
time somebody says that.
There you go.
Dinosaurs.
Yeah, don't hurt yourself, kid.
to me, I thought about some cheesy anti-congestion. This is like they symbolize
What's that?
mucus.
Oh, it's the mucus guy
the
from
mucus
the
commercial.
commercial. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what I thought about.
Mucinex.
Yeah,
That
same
Mucinex.
color, everything.
Hey, I got some phlegm for you.
Yeah,
You want some phlegm?
So you don't
some
like
phlegm.
it,
No,
Jack? What do you
hate it.
think?
What's the question?
The kit.
Oh,
whoops.
you know,
Too many aluminum cans, man.
Aluminum cans, 4th grade people.
Whatever. I mean, you expect this out of them. So
The green
sure.
weed goblins,
Why not?
Jackson.
Why not?
Jack. Whoop.
Been happening all night.
Mixing your name. Yeah, Jesus. I shouldn't
aluminum cans
shouldn't
for
have
you
smoked
either.
that meth back in the
Yeah,
day.
seriously.
Never did.
Yeah.
I never touched this stuff.
Jackson.
Why do we like? It's funny.
Yeah.
It's like I think it's first of all a really cool cause, a reason why they're doing it with the first women's tour in a very long time. But I also think it's kind of making a commentary on the fact that it's like,
Absolutely.
why do kids have to be so serious? It's funny. Why the hell do they put dragons on there? They have dragon teeth around the brim of the helmets. Like it's all funny. It's not supposed. I don't think it's supposed to be cool. I think it's supposed to be funny.
There is no such thing as bad publicity.
Yep.
No.
I'm
Good-
saying
yeah.
that now, and it's been
Well, I
said
bought a
million times
Festina
before.
watch, and that proves the fact.
Yeah, I used to
point
shop
there.
7-Eleven.
Drug dealers.
Yeah.
But I think the point here is every year Jonathan Vaughters releases this, a gigantic portion of the internet gets so angry about the design, and another gigantic portion of the internet says, "Holy shit, I'm buying it." Everybody talks about it. Jonathan Vaughters,
He's a master.
whether you like him or not, is a brilliant tactician when it comes to making money with little money invested, because he doesn't have the budget that these massive teams do. He doesn't have the riders that these massive teams do. But you see that kit and you notice it, whether you hate it or whether you don't. You see it, and that's fucking brilliant business. That's brilliant business. So how do you beat Tadej Pogačar, gentlemen? How do you beat him? If you are an individual or you are a team, how do you fucking change this from a potential boring tour to an exciting tour?
Well, I think it's apparent from his Tour Slovenia. He's going to beat himself with his tires that he hates.
So just make sure you're his tire sponsor and you send him shitty tires.
He does not like his tires. I think the only thing is probably mechanical, or he could probably have one. He does not like heat, and there is a heat wave going on.
Yeah.
And I think that's something to watch, because that's something he's even confessed. Yeah, I don't do well in the heat. So, he could have a bad day in the heat and things go sideways. And then the 40K TT comes and he crushes everybody anyway.
Yeah.
So,
But he crushes everybody but Roglic. In a 40K TT, I guarantee
they're going to be close.
Roglic is
Do you
the
guarantee
Olympic champion. Do you guarantee Well,
Sorry,
so
that was a dad joke. That
I
was
mean,
fucking horrible.
if anybody can put some time on him, even if it's Roglic early on in the race, and even if they're like fucking 4th and 7th place for the first week or two, but if there's any like fat there of time initially, then that's how you're gonna beat him. If you leave it to 2 seconds, 5 seconds, or less than a minute going in the last TT, you're probably gonna lose. So no matter who's in second.
Jackson, how do you beat him?
You don't.
Yeah.
It's that
Yeah.
tough at this point, because it's like Jack, you were mentioning that
he's almost Merxian.
Well, yeah, and I was going to say, Jack, you mentioned that you leave any sort of time with him. Okay, probably the most dangerous situation you could probably have is letting an attacking Tadej Pogačar go. Yeah, like, remember what he did last year? Yeah. That's how he got the yellow, or got that such big time gap. It's like he attacked on a mountain stage that had flat in it, and then he gained like 3 minutes. Yeah, he's a generational talent that is almost like impossible to beat at this point, because it's like Paul, you were mentioning, it's like, oh, you get time, wait till that TT blows everybody else out of the water. It's like he's got to crash out of the race at this point to not win it.
Really.
It's kind of how it feels.
I think there has to be an opportunity such as Jumbo-Visma with Roglic and Vingegaard where you have two people within striking distance. Yep. And you've got to have...
He doesn't know which one's...
That striking distance has to be fucking close.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then you just two-prong it. That's the... I think that's the only way you can
That's
pull it
true,
off.
but they have to be strong enough to put them into that situation,
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean,
there's nothing more frustrating than watching.
And you only got
when
6
you're
more
saying,
guys to help
attack.
you do that. Yeah.
Now attack again and attack
yeah.
again. It's like everybody just waits and lets them rest, and then okay, I'll do attack.
Or they're just going so far into the red that everybody's suffering and nobody can attack.
Right.
Yeah, and they just like limping up the hill.
I think what you were saying is it reminded me. Roglic is very much more of a traditional rider. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, I can bring that back tomorrow, and then he has a good day, gets a good massage, whatever. Pogačar is so unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
He,
which is fun bike racing.
You could one day you'd expect him to somebody else to stay in the leader's jersey, and I think he just like a surprise. He's a surprising rider every day. You can't predict.
You know he's gonna win. You just don't know what day
or why or
how
or and it's big. It's never small. It's always like the one thing that.
And then he's up there, and then everybody's trying everything to knock him off, and he just seems untouchable.
Can I say that I caught a reflection of myself in my shadow this weekend, and there was a tuft of hair coming out of my helmet, and I didn't tuck it in because I was just like,
right up here.
Anymore.
Yeah. No, it was not straight center.
He does straight center.
Mine was.
No,
it was just off to the side, and I saw it, and it
holes.
was sticking out of my helmet, and I went, "Fuck yeah, I look cool right now."
Yeah.
That's become the cool thing. Yeah,
Any port in the storm.
Yeah.
Yep. Is that not?
Look at this, huh?
Yeah,
that'll get the ladies.
Check it out. I'm cool now. I'm dropped. So here's our deal. I looked up from last year because you do three quarters of this panel is old
research,
and 1/4 of this panel obviously had a lot of weed based out of aluminum cans from its babysitter.
Fourth grade, everybody. Fourth grade.
Fourth grade.
I got over it.
Here, Jackie.
Yeah.
Here, Jackie.
I didn't end up on the streets.
She's just like, it's good shit. So last year we picked 1 leader, 1 sprinter, 1 outsider, and 1 opportunist. When I say outsider, it was not of the obvious top riders. Somebody usually with a 1 in their number, the 81, 91.
It was 4 we're picking?
Yeah, 4 riders.
Yep.
So, and we awarded points for each stage. 5 points for first, 2 points for second, and 1 point for third. We did that throughout the entire tour. And we also awarded 50 points for the yellow jersey at the culmination of the entire thing, which could completely just basically decimate everybody. And I can change that if we want to tonight. And we also awarded 30 points for the green or the polka dot or the white jersey. Should we change those points for the jersey, or should we keep that as is?
I think it was fair. What do you guys think?
What?
Says Paul, the guy who loses every year.
I know, but it was a fair call.
Jack's skull-baked right now, but yeah.
Aluminum can.
Yeah.
That's the theme of the show.
Yeah.
No more carbon. We're going back to aluminum. Anyway,
4th grade.
So do we want to tweak? Opportunist is just somebody who can.
I mean, that's an Alaphilippe or but so a stage winner.
Let's agree. Nairo Quintana is probably an opportunist now. He's not going to win the whole thing.
What?
Guillaume Martin is an opportunist. Peter
Sagan.
Anybody on Israel Premier Tech
Sagan.
is an opportunist, we could probably say. Okay. So we got 4 riders, and you are stuck with those 4 riders. We don't do this mid-tour transfer day bullshit. If the person crashes out, you're fucked. Yeah. Else? Oh my God, we didn't even address the COVID demon that could potentially just wipe this entire race out.
Well, the thing is,
and Geraint Thomas wins his second tour.
Yeah. Most of Jumbo already got COVID, right? So they're good to go for a while.
I don't think they got it. I think they pulled them because they were. It was
probably
one
close.
Person was exposed.
Yeah, and they never said who.
They've been the most. Yep. They've been the most. No, I don't want to say militant, but very careful about COVID protocols.
Right.
And so what we would do is, and by the way, and this is for everybody at home too. You can pick your 4 riders. You are welcome to. Absolutely.
Text me.
But no, don't text me. But here's the deal. You can if you want to play along, I'll be willing to throw in a Packfiller jersey as well as a pair of Gooder sunglasses into the mix to the people who win, to the individual who wins.
I don't even have that.
I don't even have 2022 glasses.
You don't.
I'm wearing the old shit.
You must post your picks to our Facebook page or I'm gonna just stick it to the Facebook page because most of our listeners are old. By Thursday at midnight, and you need to keep track of your own points. We're going on honor code but if you post your picks, I can go back and obviously do the math. So,
well, you are an English teacher.
Yeah, you're right. So, for each stage, we're going 5 points for first, 2 points for second, 1 point for third. We okay with the feed?
5, 3, 1.
We're getting some comments.
Good ones?
Negative ones?
Negative ones?
From some not so desirable people. I'll let you look when you're ready.
Bring it.
No, it's like sexual.
Oh, really? Nice. Yeah. Really?
I'll just leave it at that.
I'll handle that later.
There we go.
So stage
we got pervs paying attention to our live feed.
We have a bot commenter.
Oh, really? So I can't tell them to fuck off because they won't understand, and they'll just hear the word "fuck" and they'll automatically want to keep going with it. So I should probably stop saying that. Yeah. Quit being boobs.
Fuck.
You dickheads.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
So stages 5, 2, 1, 5, 3, 1.
5, 2, and 1. And then the final jerseys are 50 for yellow, 30 for the other 3. So at the end of the tour, you could get a 50-point bump. So everybody's got to keep track of their own points.
50 for the win.
Yeah. So that's going to be,
30 for
your rider would have to win 10 stages to equate.
Right. But you said 30 for what?
30 for the green or the polka or the white.
Oh, so the sub jerseys.
Each of those jerseys gets 30 extra points. All right. So we got 4 riders. Everybody gets to pick 4 riders. So let's start off everybody picking their leader, the person they think is going to walk away with the Tour de France. And we should just completely negate the entire point of this because we're all going to pick on count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Roglic.
Tadej Pogacar, right?
Yeah, no, I'm picking Roglic.
Oh, okay.
It's the only way to beat you guys. So
I agree.
He's the second. Potentially. I was gonna go with Vendegaard, but I mean, I'm not picking Pogacar because you're all fucking.
See, I was gonna do that. I was gonna
jumping on
the
bandwagon.
I was gonna get crazy.
Are you jumping on the bandwagon?
Jackson, you're Tadej.
Tadej Pogacar. Yep.
Paul.
Tadej.
I'm gonna go Tadej also because every year I play it safe, I always get fucked. So in other words, three of us are gonna basically negate the 50 point, the 50 point bonus,
and that's why you played that one.
Yeah, yeah. So,
I mean, I always had whether you guys were doing.
This is where I think the shit's gonna hit the fan. Your sprinter. Who is the sprinter you pick is going to win?
Cavendish.
Green. Jack automatically lost unless something amazingly happened. You always win this shit. Jack.
I try hard.
So, sprinter, Jackson.
Wout van Aert.
Paul.
I went with Jakobsen.
Okay. Fabio Jakobsen. Fabio? Right. Yep. Yep. I don't know why I had a Jack.
MVP.
Mathieu van der Poel.
Yep.
And I'm going with Michael Matthews.
Wow.
It's not bad.
Okay.
Got to
mix up there.
That could change the game.
Yeah.
outsider, not the obvious top riders of the team. And I asked you guys for permission to do this outsider, so you guys can go if you want.
Are we not picking a 1, 2, 3, first, second,
No.
third?
Nope.
We're not picking a podium.
We picked four
Okay.
riders,
All right.
4 riders total. Jackson, outsider.
Roman Bardet.
Romain Bardet. Good choice.
He was
Good
my
choice.
was my initial third place.
That's
French
what
dude.
French guy is.
Dude was my
I
Bardet.
gotta go with the French.
But then I
That was
Who'd you pick though, Jack?
Moss.
For your
Moss.
outsider.
Enric Moss.
Enric Moss.
Interesting.
Paul?
Vlasov. Alexander
Vlasov. I picked Ben O'Connor from AG2R, which I always said AG2R. AG2R.
I was going to pick
Paul-
Barguil.
Paul
as my
approved
French
it because
dude,
he's riding. Paul approved it because he's riding a BMC.
Yep.
So,
So it's
and
your son.
finally, our opportunist.
He forgets that.
Our opportunist, somebody who can just kind of grab something here and there, maybe a surprise. Jack
Roman.
here.
Sagan.
Peter Sagan.
Sure.
Okay. Paul.
Roman Bardet.
Romain Bardet.
Nielsen Paulus.
Nelson Palace. God, I should have picked him. But I circled this before the show started, and I picked Florian Seneschal from Quickstep.
Wearing the French jersey.
Yeah.
So in the end, I mean, if you pick an opportunity, how do we determine that they? I mean, do they? If
You
they
earn
win
your
a stage,
points.
they get five
Yeah.
points. So
If they win a
most
jersey,
points-
then the jersey points.
If
Also.
they win a
Right.
stage
so,
and a
so the
jersey,
most points of your opportunities gives you the most.
No, the most point of at the end wins
Yeah.
the whole fucking
Right,
thing.
right.
So yeah.
What if
All
they,
right.
what if they win most aggressive rider? Should we give like 10 points?
That should be. That's a
Like a
that's
tiebreaker?
A good
Like
point.
a red number.
Yeah.
God, that should be a fifth
I
one.
gotta research that one.
So maybe. Well, no,
That'd
we're
be-
not
it's a
adding
well-
another
well
rider.
done.
No, I'm
Right.
saying like what happens if like you're
One of our riders wins
Gets-
most aggressive.
That's
That's
not on their cap.
Every
worth
day they
5
get a
points.
red number.
No,
No.
like you know how at the end you get like a rider gets a red number as the most aggressive
the
rider
end?
of that tour.
There is a winner for
There
the most
is,
aggressive. Yeah.
10 points. You
10
think?
points?
Well,
10 points?
Well, then it's
isn't
gonna
that
take-
one of the
The listeners
jerseys?
who haven't listened this far are fucked.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
that's
would
a good
say.
thing. Listen to the whole
I
show.
would say that. I don't know. It could be our tiebreaker,
Yeah.
Okay.
and we can we can't conceal it. We have to come up with it at least by next show. How about that? Because
I'll do it right now.
opportunists.
Wow.
Those guys aren't winning stages. They're in the break. It's
Yeah.
how many times they're in the
Red.
break.
But they're animators, and we encourage
It doesn't have
that.
to be
And we
animators. They can
encourage
just
that.
go into every single break.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
talking like like I'm not saying we pick extra riders. I'm just saying like
No.
what happens if one of our riders gets it.
Yeah, so I'd say that's a
Should be
tiebreaker.
worth- should
That's a
be worth it.
tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gentlemen, what are we going to place on the line here? I've got some suggestions that just popped into my head. Okay, we could make it personal. We could say, hey, we're all picking a charity, and everybody else has to donate to that charity. That's nice and a great thing to do. We could have a beer mile. The loser has to do a beer mile
Running?
on their trainer.
Oh.
Which is a distance. We're going to go farther than beer mile. It'd probably be a 3 mile, 4 mile, where after every mile on a trainer, you have to slam a beer, and we have to pick the beer. Maybe it's like 411 or something like that. I'm looking at Paul because Paul's never done well at this. We could, which would be a hilarious video. If we had somebody hopping off their trainer, sprinting across a distance, grabbing a beer, chugging it, sprinting back to their bike, and seeing how fast they could do a mile. I could potentially contribute with that. That would be hilarious. We could go back to the Mount Spokane ×2, but a certain person can't attend because that person almost tore his face off last time we were there.
Roger.
I'm out of here.
Nothing.
You guys are all. That's why I said that.
Yeah. So are we willing to all agree upon it? And by the way, we have to set a deadline, like the second week of August. This has to be completed. The punishment has to be completed by the second week of August. Can we all agree on that?
Sure.
Even Jack, even if you're not here, we're going to make sure you have to do it.
Should we
So
throw
whoever loses.
out
Ideas.
some ideas
Yeah,
from the listeners?
Yeah. Or throw
or
out some
that could
ideas
be
and have the listeners kind of like
for a
pick through.
punishment.
But are we? But Sure.
Well,
I
the,
guess we
the
could.
bot's going to pick something sexual.
Yeah,
sexual.
that's
The
right.
bot's
That's
gonna
bad.
say we have to cut our dicks
Yeah.
off and shove it up
Yep.
our own. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
that's bad.
something like that.
Yep.
Is he still there?
It's not really words. It's just like emojis.
Right on.
Yeah,
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
lots of eggplants.
Karsten, get
Is
off.
it Karsten?
Get off
It's
line.
Carson.
Yeah.
Is a bot
Diva.
named Karsten?
Fucking.
A bot named Karsten.
So do we? None of those obviously struck you. The ones I threw out there.
I don't know. It everybody's looking at me. It'll be me again.
No, it
So-
might not be you.
It could be. I'm the one that loses.
So,
I'm
okay.
really-
I think.
Do we give it a week?
Yeah, let's give it a week.
And then because we've all agreed to it, so no matter what, the loser has to do whatever comes up. So to you, the listener, if you want to vote for one of the ones I just recommended, or if you have something even better that we could all vote on and agree upon. So my other my suggestions could be the easy way out and a very beneficial way of a charity that we could all donate to. The second one is the beer 4 mile on a trainer, which would be, as I said, it'd be a funny video where you slam a beer every mile, but that's why we're doing it on a trainer, because you don't want to die.
Yeah, you
and
won't
hit
fall
traffic.
over. I
But
mean,
just like the running beer mile, but this isn't every lap, it's every mile. So there we go. And the other one is to ride Mount Spokane twice in one day, which fucking sucks. And I could honestly say that maybe you have to ride Mount Spokane twice in one day, and we can be at any given point in time on the course and throw shit at you, like water or shitty beer or anything like that. And
Urine?
you have to wear the case.
Urine?
Maybe not urine.
Oh,
you know.
okay.
water balloons full of urine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cat
And water
piss in a
balloon.
super soaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A super soaker full of urine.
Yeah. And we
It's gonna
can
take
invite
5
listeners.
guys to fill it.
Yeah. Exactly.
God.
Not me.
Oh,
Got a
you're it'll
basketball.
take 45 minutes to get started.
Yeah.
So, as I stated earlier, if you want to play along with us, pick your riders. Make sure you post them to our Facebook page by Thursday at midnight. So, everybody, how are you going to watch? What's your method?
GCN.
GCN.
So
GCN.
Yeah.
I have to get cable at the flip. We ordered it to arrive on the 1st.
Now,
when the tour
GCN
starts.
is only,
I got that on my iPad.
but
so I can do
GCN
that.
you can't watch unless you have a
got
VPN.
in the United States.
Oh, we need to do
You're
that.
stuck with Peacock.
But so it starts the 2nd or the 1st?
Starts Friday.
This Friday.
Ooh, so I think our
You
coverage
excited,
starts
Jack?
Friday. I'm leaving
Yeah.
Thursday, so I think our coverage starts Friday.
So, live in the morning, or do you ignore social
3
media
times
and
a
wait
day.
till it's
Morning.
over?
3 times a
Live in
day.
the morning, Paul, Jack,
all day long.
all day long. Jackson?
Wait, don't look at anything.
You don't look at anything.
No.
I try to catch it live in the morning, and I will do that.
You guys don't have a job during the summer, though.
Yes,
he
I
has
do.
a job.
He does.
I have a daycare job.
I have a job. I'm a podcast
He's actually at
host.
work
I'm
before
building
I
an
do.
empire.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
But you're researching all week, watching the tour
Damn right.
3 times a day.
Damn right. I'm on 2 podcasts. I'm a fucking media legend.
Oh, I didn't mean to laugh.
No, you should.
Okay.
You should.
You should quit your
justifiable.
day job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, the cash is just rolling in. We will, of course, be here weekly to talk about the race. You are always invited to play along with us following the live stream, unless you're a bot perv. Commentating on social media or YouTube, unless you're a bot perv. Yeah. Calling the show directly, or our phone, by the way, is listed on our Instagram page, and I have that here. But I probably won't answer it. And sending us good old email, patrick@packfiller.com. Like, subscribe, tell a friend, and enjoy the tour, everyone. Jack, are we going to see you in person before the end of
Vancouver?
August?
Are you coming to Vancouver?
Well,
Can you do a show in Vancouver?
on this show?
Oh. Can you do a special show in Vancouver? Can I do a Zoom? Yeah.
You can always do
So,
that.
Zoom
so we
in.
could let's figure out the Zoom thing. I'm the one thing I am. No, I'm gonna be gone all summer, but I don't have a weekend. I don't have a schedule, so I can be here. Like my weekend here in Spokane could be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
What?
So we'll see. We'll
Wow.
see what I can do. But
Bring your
when
bike.
I get my bike,
Yeah.
I would like to do some sort of show y'all.
Reveal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That would be
I mean, I got some pictures of the head tube if you want to see it.
I don't know. You just reached between your crotch.
You
there.
did.
I
You
didn't
right
like
kind of
that.
massaged your thighs when you
Yeah,
did
yeah.
that, and it was kind of odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
like that. My
We do
top
have a
two-
TikTok, by the way. I posted a TikTok today, so
Wow.
maybe we'll post Jack's bike reveal. On
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that'd be
I'm
nice.
pretty excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At Packfiller.
Yeah, Packfiller. Is that what it is? Yeah. The other, I got to get rid of the other two because they're me in the car making just random comments.
Maybe I can post the bike somehow to you from my Instagram pictures or something. And
holy fuck, you're old.
What?
Can I post from the Instagrams to your photos, and then how do I cross
I'm
over?
just gonna text you.
Where's the power button?
Texting you.
And why do when I press this computer on button and my cup holder comes out?
What the?
That starts the car.
You guys like, subscribe, tell a friend, and enjoy the tour. Here we go. You don't need to listen to the other podcasts because ours just covered everything. There we go. Talk to you guys next time.